Hello and welcome. Now, final countdown to the end of 2025. I'm Meredith McCarthy, a clinical hypnotherapist based in Wellington, New Zealand. I thought I would end this year on a positive note. So let's talk about breaking out of that cycle of belief that's been holding you back and thinking about launching into 2026 with a clean, fresh belief system that you can achieve anything you put your mind to, within reason, of course. But anyway, I'm going to talk about the hypnotic kind of mindset that you can work on all by yourself, as well as why it's important to maybe get some support during this time of change. Coming to a clinical hypnotherapist that has been qualified to help journey you through change is a really fantastic idea if you really want to launch into 2026 with a new mindset for success. Anyway, buckle up. I hope you enjoy today. Right. A lot of people, they set up their mindset in the old paradigm way, with sometimes accidental doubts attached, meaning they might be using the word, I hope I'll achieve it this time. But if we really want to leap into success, we need to be very direct with our internal story of belief. A lot of people take on beliefs from early on in their existence. So it might have been a parent or a friend or someone you've come across that has said something about you, what you're not capable of, what you're good at, what you're not good at. And it's created a framework of belief that may not be as up to date as it could be. I believe deeply that we are change masters. However, saying that, creating big changes can feel scary because we are also programmed to run familiar programs that we don't have to think about very often. This is part and parcel of our survival instincts. However, to also survive, we must adapt. And adaptation is something that all of us have the ability to tap into. Adapting the way we view something, the way we action something, the way we're processing things. These are important. And quite often we're holding on to old belief systems that are filtered with the old paradigm, the old belief. I'll never be able to, because if you've created statements which kind of fall under this, universal quantifiers, okay? They're over-exaggerated statements of belief. So I'll never be able to do that, okay? Never is a very long time. And how do you know that to be true? Based upon your old paradigm, your old set of circumstances, that might have been true for you. However, the future has not been written. So if we want to break away from that old paradigm, that I'll never be able to do something, and actually soften it off. What if I could? What if I could do that thing? What would that mean to me? Now, when we start to ask that question, our brain starts to become active and we start to create new neural pathways of possibility. We're actually rewiring our brain at that very moment. The change master has started to work. I used to, now I am starting to believe in myself, in all possibilities. These are positive statements of belief that I believe are essential for ushering people into a new era of being. Many, many years ago, when I was young, growing up, I recognized the ability for us to reinvent ourselves. Anytime that we want, we can change the way that we go about stuff. Anytime that it's important that we want to achieve something, putting whatever it is that doesn't serve us in the past and start to begin a new journey, a new pattern of being as we forge forward. The future is full of possibilities. We are going to be moving into a very big time of change with the advent of AI, robotics, with AI involved, the landscape of how we go about our daily lives is going to change into something that we're not always prepared for. And in those times of change, we need to be agile up here. We need to allow our possibility landscape thinking to look at things as an opportunity rather than a loss, because there will be a lot of change. It's coming, ready or not. So to ready our mindset for that change, we must exercise that muscle of belief that we can segue through these changes in the best possible way, to look at things as opportunities of learning rather than focusing on the death of something or the end of an era, okay, and getting stuck in that paradigm. We must release ourselves into a new adventure of possibilities that we can at this point not even begin to imagine the possibilities ahead of us, but there are. There's always an opportunity within every situation to find a positive outcome of learning and growth, wisdom and maturity. It gives us a chance to reinvent ourselves based on the new paradigm of experiences that are happening around us. Some of those experiences aren't within our control, but we can control how we meet them, how we greet that. If we stay positive, if we stay optimistic in our mindset, we look at opportunities that others that are in their pessimistic zone will miss. So this is really important to think about. Am I growing a mindset that believes that I can cope with anything that comes my way? Anything. Not just some things, anything. This is where a universal quantify statement, I can cope with anything that comes my way, can be extremely useful, because now we're over exaggerating everything or anything. It can be used as a superpower to exercise our muscle of intention and to help us navigate whatever those changes are that are coming ahead of us. I would like to get you to think about that. What is it that you need to start to exercise in yourself, in your mindset, that's going to help you navigate new beginnings? There is always a beginning and end to all cycles, okay? So there's a beginning and end to each day. There's a beginning and end to many things that, as a human being, you are journeying through. And it's okay. There will be a beginning of a revolution of how things are done around you. The landscape of how AI, artificial intelligence, for those that aren't quite in the know, how that's going to change how we turn up in the world, how we make a living, how we interact, what we do in our spare time. All sorts of things are going to change, and not just change gradually, it's going to change rapidly. If we think about ChatGPT and how many people now use ChatGPT or other language models, it's been an absolute revolution in the offices. And a lot of people have been made redundant as AI comes in and takes the place of their role, where the AI can do it more efficiently and so on and so on. However, humanity are not lost and forgotten. We are resourceful. As human beings, we are very creative, and we don't need AI to make us happy. We don't need the old paradigms that maybe we bought into because it was about survival to make us happy. We can reinvent how our society exists. We can reinvent how we turn up and how we participate in whatever that society becomes. We are co-creators in that reality, in that journey. And so instead of going, oh, well, I have no control. Yes, you still do. You have a lot of say. You have a lot of control in what comes ahead. There are going to be some things that you may not have control over fully, but we always control how we turn up to it. And that's really important to foster that belief in yourself that you can be malleable and work through change easily, effectively, quickly, because quickly is part of what's ahead of you. You need to learn to trust in your own ability to adapt, to look at what's going on around you and learn to adapt and look at hidden opportunities that are lying there just ahead of you, and to take those opportunities and run the experiment. We're here on earth to run experiments, to see how things work, to go and have that journey. So a hypnotic journey, going to a hypnotherapist, it helps you to align yourself, one, to your internal values, and to tap into what I call the inner compass, that part of you that knows who you are and how to be amazing, and to reinforce the positive mindset that's going to be an asset for your growth moving forward, no matter what the landscape. There's always going to be people who build fear around you and maybe even aim it towards you. It is important to look at that as not as solid as their projection of it, that there is a construct going on, and you can either buy into the fear or you can reject it. You can imagine, for example, a beautiful bubble of light and love and wisdom all around you, and anything that you don't want to take on board energetically, it just moves around you. It doesn't go in. It's like whatever those words, whatever that information, it just goes past you. It doesn't need to come into you. Now, the thoughts that you deem valuable, the ideas or opportunities that you want to harness and connect to, you can invite in. But those things that don't serve you, you can just, imagine just it floating by you, not coming to you. So you're just being a gentle observer, going, okay, that was just that fear program working, right? And see it go past. Journeying using hypnosis often helps us to quieten our mind, to create a focus that is helping us to release and to reset what comes next, to help us to release whatever that fear, phobia, blockage that might have been holding you back from being the change master you always have been, to hopping into that miracle mindset, that anything is possible and that we can dream in collectively a positive outcome. And we can be part of that vision. We can be part of those actions. The thoughts you think have energy, and they affect the field around you of possibilities. So don't underestimate the hypnotic mindset. When we're daydreaming, we're alchemists. We are helping ourselves to create the next chapter forward. So what is that chapter for you in 2026 coming into that? What do you want to foster inside your mindset? Have a think about that. Have a think about being a change master. Think about that statement and belief. I can do anything I put my mind to, or I can adapt to anything that comes my way easily. These positive mindsets, they are the key. They're the key to what's coming ahead, coming towards you through the revolutionary changes that are going to change the landscape of how the world works currently. Okay? There's going to be a lot of change. Be ahead with your mindset. Take the advantage. Go see a hypnotherapist somewhere in your corner of the world. I am available for sessions if you want to come and have a chat with me. I'm available on Zoom, so I do talk to people around the world about becoming a hypnotherapist, learning to help others help themselves. So if you're curious about that and that journey, we're revving up in February, starting again another cycle of learning. So come along if you are interested in that. NZ ach.ac.nz. But if you want to come personally to me just for one-on-one sessions, the website that I have is meredithmccarthy.com. So please check it out if that's your cup of tea. For those that are maybe already hypnotherapists out there, have a think about how you're going to support your clients through the big changes ahead, because there's going to be a lot. And a lot of people also are going into AI for support. But I'm telling you, from my heart to yours, nothing replaces a human to a human, because our souls understand something more than AI ever can. Okay? AI is artificial intelligence. Now, it may feel sometimes that you're talking to I guess, the stream of information coming through AIs, and it feels really helpful and so on. But they hallucinate. They don't always tell you the truth. And often one human to another can question you in ways that an AI just misses. An AI misses a lot of things because it hasn't had a lived experience. It doesn't know how it feels to be human. And it will never be able to get that quite right. So please, when you're wanting support, coming to one human to another is where your heart aligns itself to the truth of why you're here on earth, who you are, your authentic self. And that other human being can see you, can invite you to be able to explore the possibilities of your own mindset, achieving your goals, and supporting you and being a cheerleader, a real cheerleader, okay? One that will remember you for years to come and will believe in you for years to come. If the electricity goes off and AI ceases to exist, human beings will still be around with their memory, and the memories aren't going to be wiped. We remember those people from our past. We look forward to meeting those people in our future. And this is around one human to another and having those exchanges. Nothing can ever replace that. Just remember that. So from one human to other humans out there, thank you for tuning in today. I hope this has been useful to you and maybe got you thinking about that mindset of yours and the kind of beliefs that you want to start to build as you travel into this new year. So happy new year to all of you. I wish you all the best, and I'll be back into the next year, 2026, next week. Yay. Let's begin. Ka kite.